We're just waiting on delegates to be seated, and we'll be beginning as soon as possible. I will be quickly. Do we want to talk about the photo policy when we're announcing committee awards to learn, or do you want me to do that at the beginning? You do. Okay. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Welcome, delegates and staff and FAs. Will we be beginning opening ceremonies now? Okay, wow. I was gonna ask you guys to clap and cheer if you had a great time at UTMUN. Can I hear some noise? Lovely, lovely. That's what we love to hear, and we'd love to receive feedback as to how this year went. Okay, let's go over the agenda of how closing ceremonies is working because it's pretty long. First, we'll be starting with the Charity Rose Initiative winners and announcing how much we donated. Following with that, we'll be having our closing ceremony speaker, Honorable Bob Ray. Following that, we have closing remarks from our Secretary General, Kirat Gill, and committee awards and delegation awards, which you guys are excited for, so let's begin. So we raised $780 this year with Doctors Without Borders. Thank you guys so much for participating. But we have a winner, and the first prize winner will be Pying Braden Chow right here. How exciting after closing ceremonies outside of Convocation Hall. So round of applause for that. Woo! $780. We'll be announcing the delegate who donated the most amount of money. In first place, we have the delegate of Australia from United Nations Human Rights Council. Woo! You want to come up? We have a prize for you as well. Congratulations! It's a blue rose glass. It's like the Beauty and the Beast thing. If you know, you know. Yeah. I hope you know. Hope you like that. Okay. Before we move on to passing it on to Kirat and Bob Ray, we'll be going over award logistics. So awards will be happening in the following order. We will be starting with General Assembly, following with Ecosoc, Specialized, then Crisis. Delegates, please enter from the right side of the stage. Your director will be there to present you the award and take a picture with our photographer, Jessica. After that, please keep all applause until the end of the committee because we have so many awards to get through, 27 committee equivalencies, so we want to keep this as fast as possible. Well, I don't want to say any questions, but any concerns? All right then. It is my honor then to introduce Kirat Gill, our Secretary General, for opening remarks for closing ceremonies.
All right, delegates, I won't take up too much of your time. I know we're all here and interested in seeing who wins our awards and to cheer on our peers. I just want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for attending UTMUN 2025. I cannot begin to express the hours and hours and months and years of work that have gone into this conference by our amazing staff and secretariat, but we do it with the purpose and with the intention of providing you guys with an amazing experience. Our staff and our secretariat are some of, again, the most passionate, amazing, committed people I've ever met. And I know you, the delegates, have met their passion, have met their care, and came to committee with such an intent of meeting expectations and exceeding expectations. I am so honored to have you be attending our conference. So thank you so much. It is now my honor to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Bob Ray. As a yes. As a As a distinguished diplomat, lawyer, and politician, Mr. Ray is currently serving as Canada's ambassador to the United Nations, where he advocates for global peace, human rights, and humanitarian efforts on behalf of our country. With a career spanning decades, he was the 21st Premier of Ontario and later a key leader in Canadian politics and international affairs. His dedication to public service, Indigenous reconciliation, and to refugee rights has made a lasting impact on Canada and the United Nations as an international community of world leaders. Today, we are sincerely privileged to hear from Mr. Ray, whose expertise and vision continues to shape Canada's role on the international stage. I'm happy to introduce His Excellency, the Honorable Bob Ray.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you all. It's great to be back at U of T again. It's wonderful to be here. This place, this hall, has many warm memories for me. I came here as a student in the 1960s. I was 3 years old. It was amazing as a student. No, I was a history student. I graduated from here in 1969. And also from law school here in the 70s. And this is also where I was sworn in as Premier. We had the swearing-in ceremony here for everybody who could fit in back at that time. And also sponsored, when I was a student, I also organized a concert by a band you will never have heard of called the Mothers of Invention. And the lead musician was a guy called Frank Zappa. And there used to be, right behind the curtain there's organ pipes. And at the end of their concert, their act was to pour shaving cream into the organ pipes. And this was unknown to me. And of course, when I was at the UC Lit, where I was at the time, somebody here was from the UC Lit, the principal, Mr. Lepan, called me up and said, I have a bill here for $4,500 for a cleaning of the pipes of the organ. Do you have any idea what that's about? So it was an exciting time as a student in the 60s. It's great to be back here today. I want to just spend a few words saying a couple of things about the UN and about the state of the world today. It is a challenging time. I hope you had a very good session. I hope you had an interesting one. I hope it's one that you got a lot out of. I hope you were able to get a better sense of some of the challenges and difficulties that are facing the world. And I hope very much that you also came to understand what I have had to understand, which is that where you sit and the country that you represent and the views that you hear are often different from the ones that you might have yourself. And a lot of what I've had to learn in being the ambassador to the UN, where I've been since 2020, is just how, first how diverse the world is in its opinions, how not only are the feelings that people have different, but also the situation of their countries is very different. It's all very easy to sort of think that the world is just a projection of yourself, or that the condition of the world is exactly the same as our own condition. But the reality of the world is very different from that. I came to New York with my wife Arlene, who's here today. We came to New York in the middle of COVID. And New York, as you know, was one of the epicenters of COVID at the beginning. The city was locked down, and the UN was not entirely locked down, but pretty much, and the only time we met in the General Assembly, each country, 193 countries, only got one delegate. Now, based on all the people that are here, that seems to be, you guys had 2 or 3 people representing countries. But in our situation, you went in alone, and you had a conversation with the other 192, and very quickly it became clear to me, I mean, so obvious to me, that the people who were there and the countries they were representing were so different. But it's also important to understand that there is an essential dignity in this difference. And it's important to understand that in the United Nations, you're representing not just the power structures of the world, but you're also representing the laws and the values of the world. And sometimes the power and the law and the values come into conflict. And we see that every day. We saw it during the COVID crisis, where those countries that had a vaccine used it first for themselves and then gave some to others. And if you were one of the others, you felt immediately that you were in a back seat. And as a Canadian, it was hard to explain to people why it was that a democratically elected government felt it was necessary to serve its own people before it was able to share with others to the extent that we needed to. Then you had the invasion of Ukraine. And the invasion of Ukraine was a classic example of how military aggression is still seen as acceptable in the world today. And the irony was that the Russian ambassador was chairing a meeting of the UN Security Council the very night that the invasion took place. And the next day, when there was a resolution in front of the Security Council to denounce the aggression, call for a ceasefire, the Russian ambassador, who chaired the meeting, vetoed the resolution. Because 5 countries at the UN have a veto. And Canada's not one of them. And the use and abuse of that veto power is what has brought us to the point where people sometimes say that the UN itself is not able to deal with some of the critical issues of peace and security in our time. And they're not wrong. In fact, the other Secretary General, who I meet with tomorrow, I'm going to see him, will be the first one to say to you, we don't have all the power here. We don't have all the ability to do the things that need to be done. But we do have the will to try, and the will to keep on pushing, and the will to bring people together as much as we can. And throughout the piece of the time that I've been there, the issue of climate change has been in front of us. And it's important for us to recognize that climate change comes and goes in the headlines, right? I mean, you see it, sometimes it's very dominant in the headlines, and other times it isn't. But the thing that I think is important about the United Nations is that whatever the headlines are, we still have work to do, and we still have issues to deal with, and they won't go away. And that's become very clear to me this year when I'm president of the Economic and Social Council, because a lot of people say to me, well, the only things that matter in the world today are the political conflicts in the Middle East and the political conflicts in other parts of the world, the political conflicts that are happening in Ukraine. And so the UN isn't doing anything about that. And I say to them, well, look, the UN has a budget of about $75 billion, all the agencies, all of the elements of the United Nations system. And only about $10 billion of that goes to peacekeeping and goes to the work of the Secretariat, and another $65 billion goes to dealing with the humanitarian and the social and the economic and the broad crises that are facing the world. The crisis of inequality, the continuing battle for equality between women and men, the battle to ensure that the rule of law prevails everywhere, and in that rule of law there is a protection for human rights and a protection for minority rights. And that the majority does not simply rule it over the minority all the time. And these are all the issues that are in front of us as as human beings around the world. I attended my first Students' United Nations meeting, I was just talking to Arlene about it, in the spring of 1963, when I was a high school student. And it was exciting. It was just so exciting to feel that you were taking part in an assembly that is the parallel to and matching what is going on in New York and in Geneva, in all those places where nations are coming together and debating and arguing about the issues that really matter to our time. And I can only tell you that the excitement for me continues. I've been incredibly lucky. Prime Minister Trudeau asked me to do this job a few years ago. And as I come towards the end of my term, which will be in the summer, it's been a remarkable opportunity for me to represent Canada, to speak up for Canada, but also to remind Canadians that there's a big world out there, and that in that big world, the rule of law needs to prevail. There is a school of thought that even has some strong voices supporting it in our neighbor to the south, that says the only thing that matters is the rule of men, not the rule of law. The only thing that matters is who's got the power. Nothing else matters. The law doesn't matter. And that view cannot be allowed to prevail, because that is the view and the assumption that leads people to take steps to impose their power and to do it in a way that sometimes can be quite brutal in its impact on human life and on human values. And I think it's critically important as Canadians that we stand up for a different set of principles than the principles that say that power is the only thing that matters. Power is not the only thing that matters. How power is exercised matters. The way in which power is used matters. The values which power supports matter. So it's not just saying, oh, the executive has all the power. No, it doesn't. There is no part of a political system that should have the ability to act without having one other thing above it. And what is that? The law. The law. The law that we have developed over the last several hundred years when it comes to how nations should treat other nations, how people should treat other people, how armies should treat other armies. Why do we have things like the Geneva Conventions that say, sorry, you can't just shoot prisoners? You can't just do that. The reason why we have a whole body of humanitarian law that tells us how we're supposed to treat people, even in the course of a war. That there are limits to how power is supposed to be exercised. These are the principles that we stand for in Canada. If our country didn't follow these principles, the majority would always have been able to just simply lord it over the minorities. But that's not how it works in Canada. That's why we have a Charter of Rights. That's why we have a court system. And yes, the International Declaration on Human Rights, which was adopted by the UN and the member states in 1949, yes, there are challenges of its enforcement. Yes, there is a weakness at the heart of the system that the UN itself does not have the exclusive power to enforce the laws that people think should be enforced. That's the conundrum facing the United Nations. It's not a new conundrum. The French philosopher Pascal said 400 years ago, said this simple thing: justice without enforcement has no power. If you can't enforce the law, there's no power to the law. But then he went on to say, but power without justice is tyranny. And the only thing that is the line between us and tyranny is the law. And the thing we have to move towards in this century and the next, the ones that you will be involved in, where you will become the people who will be designing and creating and making the system make better. The next key step is to ensure that the gap between the law and justice and enforcement is closed. That gap is closed. And then when people say my rights have been infringed, there is a law that says can't happen, and then there is an enforcement that says it won't happen. And that's the gap that's still there. And that's the gap that has to be closed. And that's what makes life interesting, because there's work to be done. And it's your work, and it's good work, and it's necessary work. And I hope you've seen some of the excitement of that today, over the weekend. And thanks very much for letting me come. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, delegates. Now, Sir Ray, as a small token of our appreciation, we'd like to present to you some gifts from UTMUN that we hope you may take with you to remember your experience here. All right, now to begin our award proceedings, a brief reminder to delegates. We will begin with the General Assemblies, then our Ecosoc, then our specialized agencies, and finally our crisis committees. Delegates, decorum please, while I explain award proceedings. We will be presenting the awards as with your committees. So when you, and if your name is called, please come from the right side of the stage. Your director or dais will be there to welcome you. Our photographer, Jessica, will take a picture of you with our committee dais, and then you may exit off the stage the way you came. Now, we will begin with the General Assembly, so please put your hands together to welcome our Director of General Assemblies, Pranav Chaturvedi. Sorry, Pranav. Quick reminder to delegates, we cannot have photos on stage after the ceremonies at 5:45. At 5:30, please exit the hall. Thank you. And now our Director of General Assemblies, Pranav Chaturvedi.
All right, delegates, decorum. How's everyone doing? Woo! Let's get it popping. Okay, so as the General Assembly's branch director for UTMUN 2025, I'd like to take some time just to recognize the extremely hard work for this year's not only delegates within the General Assemblies who did such a good job debating these very pertinent global issues, but also our staff, ranging from directors to vice directors to moderators to pages, who did such an incredible job both prior to and during the conference in organizing everything. Can we just get a quick round of applause for everyone who worked so hard? But yeah, truly couldn't be more proud of everyone who put in truly so much effort into making this another successful General Assemblies branch for UTMUN. But yeah, without further ado, we have the Strategic Artificial Intelligence Management Oversight and Support Agency, or UN Samosa, aptly named after one of my favorite Indian treats. Woo! So from guys, decorum. So from CHEASC to let it go, the AI never bothered us anyway. UN Samosa was a committee filled with innovation and collaboration pertaining to the development of artificial intelligence across the globe. But tragically, no samosas, unfortunately. Definitely grab some after, though, if you haven't tried. They're really, really good. And so this committee had the SPARK, the spark that made MUN truly so special, not just this year, but every year. And every single delegate demonstrated tremendous growth in these various areas, and overall, the entire committee should be incredibly proud of the work that they've done. So, without further ado, with UN Samosa, we have our best position paper going to Noor Abu Asa from St. Teresa. We have our first honorable mention going to Aliyah Shahid from Upper Canada College. Our second honorable mention going to David Satera from St. Teresa. Our third honorable mention going to Jacob Bender from UTS. Our Outstanding Delegate Award going to Esme Brand from Monarch Park. And then Best Delegate going to Kelly Shen from Agincourt. So congratulations to everyone from UN Samosa. Next we have UN Borders. So generally speaking, through discourse on improving oversight, coordinating humanitarian and economic relief across the globe for migrants, this committee did an incredible job, both delegates and staff alike, in truly shaping the stage for addressing global issues pertaining to migrants and how they operate across different spheres within global politics. And our first honorable mention goes to Shuman Yu from the Nicole School. Our second honorable mention going to Ronan Zhang from St. Michael's. Our third honorable mention going to Timmy Oda Manelli from Rockhurst. Outstanding delegate going to Kaylin Shen from Don Mills. And then best delegate going to Devanshi Batra from Maple.
All right, congratulations, delegates. For clarification on photo procedure, we'll have individual shots taken first as you are walking up the stage. Stay on the stage, on the sides, for a committee photo with your dais, okay? So single individual shots will be taken as well as a committee photo.
Thank you, Kirat. Next, we have UN Tourism. So we really hope that everyone in UN Tourism had an amazing adventure around the world. Guys, decorum. All of you showed tremendous passion and dedication to the tourism space as it relates to the economic, security, and ethical issues that surround the committee at large, and we really hope that you continue your love for the tourism space and for MUN at large. Best position paper goes to Charlize Tumaga from Francis Liberman. Honorable mention going to Al-Amin Dos from Francis Liberman. Next honorable mention going to Petra Visatiki from Westdale. Next honorable mention going to Chengzu B from William Leon. Outstanding delegate going to Trisha Pereira. And then best delegate going to Caden Keller from Rockhurst. So congrats to everyone from UN Tourism. Next we have UN Surf. Yeah, UN Surf shockingly isn't by a beach of any kind, but the Central Emergency Response Fund deals with emergency response to natural disasters, pandemics, and other medical disasters. So really addressing the early warning signs and all kinds of shortfalls of emergency funding, wherein the delegates drilled into the strategic aims of the committee, fulfilling all of the expectations of TAAS. And through snow and more snow, the delegates chiled and toiled, truly impressing us with their discussion and resolutions. And the dais is extremely, extremely proud of the entire committee working together over pies and cookies. If you know, you know. Okay, so best position paper firstly goes to Sophia G.A. from St. Teresa. Our first honorable mention goes to Grace Noel from Parkdale. Next honorable mention goes to Awana Shah from John Fraser. Our other honorable mention goes to Miriam Baramad from Ecole Secondary. Outstanding Del goes to Isabel Karoke from Humberside. And then best delegate goes to Arkish Minhas from the Crescent School. Okay, next up we have the International Atomic Energy Agency. So, okay, so yeah, to reiterate, we have the International Atomic Energy Agency. So across the past 3 days, the delegates of UNIAEA were consistently innovative, adaptive, and rigorous in their approaches to resolving nuclear proliferation and peaceful uses of atomic energy. So extremely impressed with the way that they went about pursuing these issues and the passion right off the bat and bringing about an extremely clever approach to resolving these issues within the scope of debate. So our first position paper, or best position paper, goes to Jackson Sun from UCC. honorable mention goes to Alexander Baltzerson from Gilderand. Our second honorable mention goes to Madhav Khanna from Don Mills. Outstanding delegate goes to Liam Dennis from Rockhurst. And then best delegate goes to Connor Kuhn from Rockhurst. So once again, congratulations to everyone from IAEA. And then we have the ICPD, the International Conference on Population and Development. Delegates decorum. So the resilience and determination shown by the delegates of ICPD is extremely commendable. They've worked tirelessly to ensure that the goals of the committee are upheld and are adhered to in addressing global challenges related to gender equality and sustainable population development. So big shout out to ICPD delegates and staff. Just one moment. Okay. Another big round of applause for IAEA. Okay, and then without further ado, best position paper for ICPD goes to Elena Statmatio from Crestwood. Honorable mention goes to Alex Song from Crescent. Second honorable mention goes to Yijia Zhang from The other honorable mention goes to Michaela Priziuso from St. Teresa. Outstanding delegate goes to Emily Turner from Francis Liberman. And then best delegate goes to Adish Kaur Khalsa, who is an independent delegate. Can we get another big round of applause for all of our GA delegates and staff? And just to kind of reiterate, truly couldn't be more proud of the General Assemblies. Everyone involved, whether it be staff, directors, vice directors, moderators, logistics officers, delegates alike, faculty advisors, everyone involved, truly so instrumental into making everything a success. So truly couldn't be more grateful and proud of everyone involved. So thank you all so much for your contributions. Thank you so much.
Now, while we wrap up with ICPD, can we have the Samosa winners once again join us on the stage for your committee photo? Can we have you and Samosa join us on the stage, please? Our winners. Awesome. Okay, thank you, General Assemblies. I'm now happy to bring to the stage Ramin Azmat, our Director of Ecosocs and Regional Bodies.
Yep. Wait, can you lower? Is it possible to lower or no? Wait, should I just use the mic? Yeah, that would help so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Hi, everybody. Wait, no, it's not working.
It is.
Hello? Okay. Hi, everybody. As the director of the Ecosoc branch, I would like to, one sec, briefly highlight each of our remarkable committees where passionate delegates showcase their best efforts in addressing complex global challenges. First and foremost, I just want to give a very heartfelt thank you to all the Ecosoc staff for their tireless work over the past 8 months, ensuring that each committee ran smoothly and that every delegate felt welcomed here. It was a real honor to work with you all. So we will start with NATO. I'm going to do like a little bit of a blurb of how NATO went, written by our director. So to start with what delegates talked about, how lactose-based is the normal European diet? How much of something can we drop on someone's doorstep before they become a war criminal? Thank you to all NATO delegates for your well-researched and enthusiastic energy you all brought to our committee in discussing psychological warfare and bioterrorism. The 6 individuals taking home awards today were truly exceptional delegates in a committee of incredibly strong individuals overall. So to start with awards, Best Position Paper goes to Brandon Wu. Moving on to honorable mention, Jade Sola Babalola Lucas. Next honorable mention, Calabria Bautista. Next honorable mention, Jerome Arista. Our outstanding delegate, Brandon Wu again. And then the best delegate for NATO goes to John Mabutsis. Wait, okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Should I go a bit slower? Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Moving on to our historical Ecosoc, the collapse of the Soviet Union committee dealt with a wide array of issues ranging from new security alliances, economic reform, democracy, and political alliances. Our committee saw 2 coups, the start and end of a civil war, assassinations, rigged elections, covert military assistance, and a failed attempt to introduce Turk coin. So moving on to awards, Best Position Paper goes to Angelina Mantu. She's not here, okay. Honorable mention goes to Alexander Achter. Next, honorable mention, John Karakulis. Next, honorable mention, Kai Silsky. For outstanding delegate, we have Lucy Lee. And then for best delegate, we have Boris Yeltsin, Jane McGuire. I'll take it back to the, yeah. One second. Moving on to the United Nations Human Rights Council. UNHRC displayed excellent initiative and diplomatic understanding. The wonderful delegates of UNHRC engaged with the importance of safeguarding the Whistleblower Act and the impact of digital surveillance in smaller state countries and protecting the people. This bright committee showcased musical talent, phenomenal understanding of pop culture references, and an amazing ability to collaborate. Moving on to awards, best position paper goes to Mansi Shah. Honorable mention for UNHRC goes to October Zarzur. Next honorable mention goes to Callista Yip. Next honorable mention goes to Caitlin Hu. Outstanding delegate goes to Mason Hellman. And best delegate for UNHRC goes to Gabrielle May. Moving on to one of our regional bodies, the League of Arab States. Delegates in this committee discussed colonial legacies and continued global competition for Middle Eastern oil, as well as the future of Arab unity amidst these challenges. The dais looks forward to seeing where their delegates go in the future with these topics. So best position paper goes to Natasha Prilevic. Honorable mention goes to Karina Victor. Next honorable mention goes to William He. third honorable mention goes to Layan Amir. She's not here. Outstanding delegate goes to Adam Garibnavaz. And best delegate for LAS goes to Michael Redlick. They're winning so much. You're on a winning streak. She was in a committee last year. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Oh wait, do they want that there? One sec. Okay. Moving on to our next committee, the International Court of Justice. This committee role-played a real-life ICJ case between the Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America in 2018 regarding the legality of Americans' economic sanctions on Iran. From questioning Mike Pompeo as a witness to debating the definition of what constitutes a threat, delegates remained highly engaged in the case. This afternoon, the judges ruled in favor of Iran. For Best Memorandum, Rouhani Mainra. Outstanding Advocate goes to Stephanie Lee. Second Outstanding Advocate goes to Georgia Nicholson. Best Judge goes to Danny Bay. And Best Advocate also goes to Rouhani Mainra. Moving on to our next committee, the World Bank. The World Bank was an Ecosoc like no other. Delegates could no longer get away with asking the World Bank for funding when they couldn't think of anything else. We began from rags to riches, going from a shabby UC classroom to a two-tiered lecture auditorium. Delegates discussed conditionality agreements and foreign direct investment, economic conflicts and conflicts with economic impact, crypto bros, and low taper fades. We passed resolutions like Impact, Venice, and Econ. And while drafts like accountability were not passed, maybe the accountability was the friends we made along the way. We're proud of each and every one of you and hope that the real World Bank follows your lead. Best position paper goes to Nikhil Khanna. Honorable mention goes to Connor Argueta. Next honorable mention goes to Michael Giuliani. Outstanding delegate goes to Andrew Hayes. And best delegate for World Bank goes to Remy Ajao Russell. And our final Ecosoc committee, the Arctic Council. In 6 quick-paced sessions, these delegates unpack the complex nuances of the Arctic, from the complex trade routes, geopolitical tensions between Russia and NATO, indigenous rights. All of the delegates tackled all of these issues with poise, intellect, and quirky humor. Some of the most memorable moments include the almost invasion of the Arctic, the freezing UC A101 room to match the theme, and who could forget about the Klaus Corp. Best position paper for Arctic Council goes to Grace Song. Honorable mention goes to Kieran Adams. Next, honorable mention goes to Hissam Nasir. Next, honorable mention goes to Jet Nemeth. Outstanding delegate for Arctic Council goes to Lauren Ross. And best delegate goes to Charles Patterson. And once again, thank you so much to all Ecosoc staff and delegates. And I'll give it off to the Director of Specialized Agencies now, Isabella.
Yeah? Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Hi, everybody. Okay, we're going to get started with specialized agencies. It's time for specialized. Delegates, we want to get started on awards as soon as we can. Thank you very much. Okay, so I would like to start off by saying how happy I am that everything went so spectacular this conference. Now at closing ceremonies, I'm only filled with nothing but pride for my lovely staff and for all the delegates who worked so hard all these 3 days. It was really such a joy to see you guys work. I saw how hard they work and how passionate they feel about UTMUN and Model UN in general, and specialized just means a lot to me, so it really warms my heart to see it being treated with such care and love. So first, we're going to start with Wall Street Bets. Come on up, Oscar. Delegates. Okay, so first we're going to start with GameStop. In the walls of the GameStop Corporation, the gears in the heads of delegates turned as they figured out how they would capitalize given the sudden rise in their stocks. Through CEO firing, CEO hiring, and a complete reshuffle of the cabinet that caused our chair to adopt the saying, "Nothing ever happens," this was a committee of a lot of things. Nothing other than a volatile shock, a room of some of the most enthusiastic delegates we've ever seen, and a mock trial that ended with the betrayal the highest order could possibly exemplify how great this committee was. So, let's get started on the awards. First, best position paper goes to Pierre and Claudius. Next up, we have our first honorable mention goes to Pranav Vichichavlin. Our next honorable mention goes to Boaz Novogrodsky. And now for our outstanding delegate, Tina Wang. And finally, our best delegate goes to Carter Lugren. A round of applause is in order for that. Okay, thank you. And now for the other side of our JSC this year, which will also be presented by Oscar. On the other side, the hedge funds proved to be capable of a lot more hedge fun than first anticipated. From political marriages to political campaigns, they did all in pursuit of shutting GameStop down and maintaining the status quo. Using Twitch streams, letterbox posts, and the power of suing other people, they proved to the world that David doesn't always beat Goliath. We're gonna head on to our awards now. Best position paper goes to Dias Pan. Our first honorable mention for hedge funds goes to Aiden Lee. Our next honorable mention, Chloe Wan. Our outstanding delegate goes to Mohammed Hasnain Heriani. And finally, our best delegate and the final one for our JSC is Agustia Aurora. Let's go, JSE. Thank you very much. Next up, we have WNBA. Come on, Francesca. Now, WNBA. Let's get started. The dais is so proud of all delegates who participated, from proposing motions to creating public directives that resulted in the worldwide tour, increased viewership, and Netflix documentaries. From creative solutions, campaigns like Baddies on and off the court, and amazing 10-second speeches, it's safe to say that this committee was a slam dunk. Okay, we're gonna get started on the awards for WNBA. Best position paper goes to Panaitodes Papaikonomou. Next up, we have our honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Robert Guo. Our next honorable mention for WNBA is Karam Singh Adam. And now our outstanding delegate goes to Lilia Hamze. And finally, our best delegate for WNBA is Nacy Portis. Thank you, WNBA. Now, on to F1. Let's go, F1. Yes, okay. Thank you, Yi. Okay, delegates, F1. For F1, I would like to give 5 big booms for all the lovely delegates in this committee for leading Ferrari into the 2007 Constructors and Drivers Championship. Some great work and innovative solutions were done by all Dells in preparing for the next F1 season, with a special shout out to Kimi Raikkonen for the most accurate F1 driver imitation. As we move past UTMUN 2025, we hope you guys all take some time in the future to visit the world-renowned McLaren theme park. Okay, so on to awards. Best position paper goes to Onur Saran. Our first honorable mention for F1 is Krista Anger. Second honorable mention, Giulia Gucciardi. Our next honorable mention, Jordan James. Our outstanding delegate for F1 goes to Solomon Narain. And finally, best delegate for F1 is Kiara Brun. Thank you, F1. Good stuff. Okay, on to the Social Network 2004, building Facebook. Now, delegates, from Facebook to WAP, We Are the People, to BOP to COP, delegates of this committee have been through thick and thin to develop the future of social networking. Whether it be filial betrayals between brothers, nosebleeds, or hackers threatening network security, delegates have shown both incredible resiliency and awe-inspiring creativity in the past few days. The Diocese is honored to have been able to serve you and witness your passion and ideas. On to awards. Okay. First, for best position paper, we have June Rose. Our first honorable mention for Facebook goes to Lane Christopher. Our second honorable mention, Sophie Guo. And now our outstanding delegate goes to William Chandra. And finally, for social network, best delegate goes to Molly Morrissey. Let's go, social network. Thank you. Okay, finally, last but certainly not least, we have Hershey Boardroom. Let's give it up for Nicholas's outfit, by the way. He looks great. Okay, Hershey. From cyclical chocolate creations, rap battles, mergers, and marketing, the Hershey Boardroom was filled with fun in every sticky session. Thank you to our delegates for bringing a sugar rush energy, syrupy schemes, and organic oration to make this committee truly, truly special. On to awards. Best position paper for Hershey goes to Sarah Haskell. Our first honorable mention goes to Naveed Aval. Is that it? Yeah, that was it. Okay, our outstanding delegate for Hershey goes to Diana Ebrahimi. And finally, for Hershey, best delegate goes to Elena Long. Let's give another round of applause. Yes, okay. Group photo. And let's hear it for Nicholas's outfit. Thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute pleasure to be here on behalf of Specialized. And now I'm going to hand it off to our lovely crisis team, Daisy and Nyla.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daisy, and this is Nyla. We're your co-directors of crisis committees at UTMUN this year, and we'd like to take a moment to thank all of the crisis staff's dedication in bringing our branch together through designing characters, mechanics, and background guide content. Thank you all.
From exploring the far reaches of space to ukulele solos in Austria, we as staff have appreciated the creativity of the delegates and their passion for crisis. Now we'll move on to awards. Please try and hold applause till the end.
The Cracks in the Crown Committee has gone through ups and downs this past weekend. As delegates fearlessly debated the struggle between Hungary and Austria in the turbulent 1880s, our delegates stood firm, defending their empires not only against each other, but also against the looming Russian invasion, proving their resilience and diplomatic strength. On to awards. Best position paper goes to William Moriarty, representing French Dieck. Honorable mention goes to Murphy Hawk, representing Franz Joseph I. Outstanding delegate goes to Jacob Kemp, representing Guyala Andrashi. And best delegate goes to Kay Wong, representing Alexander von Moiskov, Poland.
So next, we are going to move on to the first of our two JCCs, Mughal War of Succession. This committee has been a battlefield of bold diplomacy, shifting alliances, and high-stakes power struggles, from fighting the Dutch and the Portuguese to handling rebellions and bizarre marriage proposals. Delegates from both factions showcased fearless leadership and strategic brilliance. With betrayals, secret deals, and battlefield maneuvers shaping history, the Mughal War of Succession was a saga of nonchalant kings, crazy spies, and somehow happy hippos. Starting with the awards for Prince Nizam's side. The best position paper goes to Abrar Hussain, representing Samsun ud Dalia. The honorable mention goes to Sanidhyal Verma, representing Sayyid Hassan Ali. The Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Austin Teal, representing Maktab Rai. And the Best Delegate Award goes to Patrick Sanders, representing Prince Jahan Shah. Moving on to Prince Bakshi's side, the Best Position Paper Award goes to Amisa Muhammad representing Mirza Muhammad. The honorable mention goes to Pranav Velnecki representing Chinkilch Khan. The Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Pete Masadina representing Ali Marden. And the Best Delegate Award goes to Nico Soblowski representing Yaya Chur.
After much turbulent battling, both within the Qing state itself, but also between other states, the delegates of the Warring States period, Kingdom's End, entered an all-out war with 4 other states. From a singing battle of Sweet Caroline to the revelation of drama in the royal family and the increasing amount of horses on our committee map, there was no shortage of exciting moments before Zhou unified China. While Qing ultimately fell, our delegates scattered, some exiled, some imprisoned, and some riding off into the wind with personal glory. The Best Position Paper Award goes to Irving Wong, representing Lisi. The honorable mention goes to Alvin Chen, representing Chongping-jun. The outstanding delegate goes to Heather R. Depew, representing Lu Baiwei. And best delegate goes to Lucas Liu, representing Guangxian.
Thank you. We are now going to do the awards for the second JCC, the Spice Wars, starting with the Jugo Republic. An empire lost, a romance gained, ancient beings the size of mountains, and a fine red powder that changed Andromeda forever. The bureaucrats and the barons of the Pontoon Empire and the rebels and renegades of the Jugo Republic engaged in a rapid-fire scramble over the precious resource, leaving chaos and new advancements in their wake. And no matter who came out on top in this scramble, we had players from both sides that showed above all their dedication to their factions. The best position paper for the Jugo Republic goes to Anya Sinha, representing Informa Super Sapper. The honorable mention goes to Emily Martin, the voice on the Gongor Vine. The outstanding delegate goes to Layla Hunter, Courier of All Coin. And the best delegate award goes to Andrew Zhang, Chief Bounty Law Hunter. for the awards for the Pontoon Empire. The best position paper goes to Vincent Scalmonga, the Pentonet Director of the Informa. The honorable mention goes to Douglas Forrest, Concert to Transportation. The Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Kira Drysdale, Baron of Lawful Trade. And the Best Delegate Award goes to Callum Abbasi, the High Warden.
The Dais of the Alliance of Itzcoatl thanks all the delegates for making this a fun and learning experience. Our committee has shown that although those in power have the ability to lose themselves in pursuit of glory, we can hold them accountable for their actions and work to improve our society together. It was through the citizens of this alliance that we were able to achieve a prosperous empire. The Best Position Paper Award goes to Michael Bostros, representing Hyokatale. The first honorable mention goes to Jeremy Lawrence, representing Shiokoto. And the second honorable mention goes to Leonel Gilbert, representing Iltio. Outstanding delegate goes to Bits Coleman Goldkirk, representing Shiokoto. And best delegate goes to Rhea Prashad, representing Shitalita.
And finally, we have awards for the ad hoc. Delegates in the ad hoc this year were thrown into a murder mystery in the early 1950s. Set in the countryside in a town near London, they navigated complex storylines while dealing with alleged vampires, false ghosts, and a careful murderer who decided in the end to effectively thwart every plan that the delegates had come up with. However, as a group of sharp, keen delegates, they were quick to figure out that every detail would lead them down rabbit holes and help them uncover the secrets of the delegates around them. They learned two key lessons from this weekend. One, never gamble away all your wealth. And two, digitize your wills so that an erratic murderer doesn't eat them. The first honorable mention goes to Reju, representing Angus Day Atkinson. And the second honorable mention goes to Desmond Hollingsworth, representing Delore Casey. I had a different order in the script and the slides. Sorry about that. The Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Drew Ogrogotsky, representing Junior Clairvoy. And the Best Delegate Award goes to Wyatt Stewart Wiley, representing Gerald Lamb. Again, thank you so much to all of our crisis staff and all of our crisis delegates. This was truly a memorable weekend for all of us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, delegates. We will now be moving on to delegation. Okay. We'll now be moving on to delegation awards. As a quick reminder, please have your head delegate come to retrieve your award. The names will be presented by the USG internal Aisha Mir.
Okay, I hope you guys haven't run out of energy for clapping, because here comes the school awards. Starting with Outstanding Small Delegation. This award is presented to Crescent School. Next, we have our Outstanding Large Delegation. This award is presented to Upper Canada College. Congratulations. Of course. Okay, we're moving into Best Delegation, starting with Best Small Delegation. This award is presented to Riverview High School. Next, we have our Best Large Delegation. This award is presented to Parkdale Collegiate. But wait, there's one more delegation. One more delegation who has yet to earn their award. I present the best overall delegation to Rockhurst High School. Congratulations, it was a pleasure having you all here. I'll present it now to Kira for closing remarks.
Thank you to all of our attendees. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause. I am delighted to now say the 18th iteration of the University of Toronto Mall United Nations Conference is now over. Delegates, please exit the hall. Thank you so much. Can we have our Rose Charity winners meet us outside at 5:30 to Pi Braden?